the new cards. We can glance over them real quick. Let me... Oh, here they are. Okay, so we have a lot of interesting stuff here. I kind of want to talk about Lux first, even though she's in the middle. I can't zoom in, so I'm sorry, guys. You're going to have to deal with that. Lux is Shen's apprentice. Yeah, Vex's tempo. Hey, wait a minute. And Lillia's combo. What I like about the expansion in general is that all three champions are on the cheaper side. Did anyone else notice that? It's like 3-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop. Those are the champions. So it's like pushing early mid-game stuff, which I think is really cool. I'm glad that we don't have another random 9 cost, because then we're just going to play Volibear and Sigils and stuff. This way we have a little bit more freedom and like expression and creativity with deck building. Because I personally tend to enjoy the, you know, early to mid-game champions. I think they're more flexible. You can play fast around them. Sometimes you can play slow around them, and they just give you a little bit more diversity. Yeah, they're also simple and beginner friendly. 100%. I think the Lux archetype is another de facto Demacia playstyle. It's like elites. I would say maybe even simpler than elites, because as you play cards and as you play boosts and shit, things are just gonna happen that you don't really need to pay that much attention to or think that hard about. Kinda like elites, you know? So I do like that too. Which is very nice coming from 5-7-12. Exactly. Exactly. 100%. So Lux is a 3-1-2, but that's not technically true because she has Spirit, so she's going to spawn in with an additional +1/+1, so she's actually a 3-mana 2/3. Which is fine. Support, grant my supported ally +1/+1 and give me barrier. Now that's really good on attack 3. If you're attacking on evens, she's a little bit less good unless you plan on opening 4, in which case, I guess have fun. It's not that strong. But when you're attacking on odds, this is really good, obviously. You can get the barrier immediately. She is like a baby Shen, for sure. Level up, allies have attacked with or have gained while attacking 20 total positive keywords, so we need to spam Spirit with her. Spirit is a stackable keyword, kind of like Impact, and the Spirit is just +1/+1 over and over and over. So we want to be doing that quite a lot. And then she levels, and when she levels, she just double dips on the Spirit. So this is something that I was thinking, right? This sounds fantastic. We have some support for it with like the Spirit shit. As you can see, everything has Spirit over here. And boost. We can very easily make this deck work. The issue that I have immediately, which is, you know, the same issue I always have with this kind of thing, is how are we winning? How are we winning with these stats? How are we translating these stats into meaningful damage? How are we translating these stats into lethals? The first and most obvious is always elusive. Right? And gave us a really, really good insight of why they rotated Greenglade Duo, isn't it? Because I think Greenglade Duo would be really fucking good if you could give her Spirit and then boost her. You always, guys, just like make this a general rule of thumb. If you are thinking about stat increase, also think about elusive and overwhelm, because those are the best ways to actually translate your increased stats into damage or lethals. So just keep that in mind. This is probably going to end up becoming some kind of like maybe degen elusive deck. Do you remember Janna, Acorn, Teemo with like champion strength and the whole thing was just like elusive cheese? I think this is going to follow a similar route. They rotate Winding Light out for the same reason, exactly. For like Tarek Lux or something. Yeah, it's because like, again, the easiest ways to win is overwhelm or elusive with this kind of strategy. So just got my first deck and I'm playing deep. How do you think it'll be after rotation? Really good question, Jadzi. I think deep is a fantastic choice. I think it might be one of the go-to beginner control decks now, with darkness being full rotated, right? Darkness being Veigar Senna. Deep is going to be a really good replacement for that. Deep has always been a pretty solid beginner choice. It's not always been the best deck, you know, sometimes it rides 47 or 48% win rate, but it is utilizing a really strong region, which is Shadow Isles. They have really good control cards, so you can kind of like make your deck flexible. You can change it up every time there's an expansion. There's usually something to play around with. I think it's solid. I think that's a good choice. And it's staying after rotation, and it should be a decent one. I demand we go Targon first game, run Hush, kill Ez on 2. That is funny. I did see that on Twitter. You can kill Ezreal by silencing him because he has 0 stat points. So if you silence his innate spirit, he just dies. You can tell Ezreal to shut up. I did like that. That kind of makes me think that Vex Shurima, and this is something that Sarah mentioned to me. I'm not, you know, I'm stealing this concept, I guess. Vex Shurima is going to be really, really good into Lux. Like as a hard counter. Because Quicksand turning off Spirit, really broken. Quicksand being able to -4 to things or -1 to couple things so you can get fearsome attacks in, broken. It's going to be an incredibly Vex favored matchup, probably 8-2 in Vex's favor, at least on paper as I think it is now. Kind of like how Volibear was to Janna Neela when both of them came out. You know, you played into Volley, you lost when you played Janna Neela. So I think it's going to be kind of similar. Gloom can straight up kill units and it counts as Slay. Thank you, Ariel. I was actually going to wonder about that because if you play Vex Shurima, we have access to Bakai Reaper, who is a 1-mana 1/2 fearsome that amps up as we kill things with spells and strikes and whatever. If Gloom can kill things and that counts for his attack level up point or whatever it is, you know, that's really good. I kind of want to do that a lot. And there is some pretty decent fearsome stuff in Shurima, like that guy. Vex Thresh. Okay, here's the issue. I want to not run a 5-cost champion with Vex, because you want to play Shadow on 5. If you want to curve and you want to play Vex at her fullest, you want to play Vex on 4, Shadow 5, and then a champion on 6. So what you really want to do is run Viego or Hecarim. You do not want to run Thresh. That's if you want to play Vex at her like strongest, which is again power curving and just trying to attack with her a couple times. If you're attacking on evens, that's a Vex attack on 4, Shadow development on defense 5, and then another champion on 6. Really good. Really, really good even. I would say you can throw in an Elder Dragon, just like a one-of, and then you can have Viego come down with a boon, and then you're just fucking sending it, aren't you? Isn't that just like a really good deck right there? 3 Vex, 2 Viego, 1 Elder Dragon. All of the day. You could also do maybe like 2 Vex, 3 Viego, and then use Shadow as like a Vex tutor, but I wouldn't do that. Dream of 6/6 Dragon disables keywords forever. That's another good one. That's what I'm thinking, bro. That's what I'm thinking right there. That shit seems broken. I think it's gonna be Vex Elder, now that I think about it, because Vex has a lot of stuff within her own region. We should actually go to that. So that's it for the Lux rundown. It's like whatever. Spirit's very elites. It's just elites all over again. But tied to a keyword rather than a tribe, okay? Keyword over tribe. That's all this is. Vex is a 4/5/4, which is probably the most broken stat line I've seen. For a couple comparisons, Garen is a 5/5. Vex is a 5/4 for 1 mana cheaper. Yes, Garen has the give everything else +1/+1, but Vex has fearsome and an attack effect too. So they're pretty comparable. And the fact that Vex has 1 less HP than a 5-cost champion is a bit disgusting to me. Vex is 1/1 over on-release Poppy, and on-release Poppy was turbo broken. Vex is also 3 attack points higher than Janna for the same cost. Instead of a 2/4, we have a 5/4 with fearsome. I don't know. I feel Vex is one of the... Oh, Shyvana's a good one. Shyvana's what, a 3/4? And then she's a 4/5 on attack call with Fury. That's probably the most comparable. And again, for Shyvana to reach those stats, she has to do an attack call first. So Vex is just overloaded. She's very, very overstated as a champion compared to her competition. She does a lot too. Ow. It's not like she's just a body. She also has fearsome as a keyword, and she also has an attack effect that can theoretically kill opponents' units. Hello? She, on attack call, grant the strongest enemy Gloom. Gloom subtracts 1/1 from an enemy, so it gives it to the strongest. If I had $1 for every gothic girl from SIBC that only wants to play with their own gimmick, I'd have $2. Yeah, it's not a lot, but it's strange it happened twice now, huh? Hi, Milky, welcome in. On level up, she's a 4 mana 6/5, and when an enemy gains gloom, it gains it again. So it's the opposite of Lux, but like way better. Then we have a 2 mana slow speed spell here that says grant a unit gloom to draw 1. So you can kind of treat this as a pokey stick if the opponent is a 1 HP one. Okay? Then you're basically just casting pokey stick at slow speed, because you're subtracting something from 1, like 1/1. If it has 1 HP, it just dies. And you want to be using this, and it's really good that it cycles itself, because you want to level Vex by granting gloom. 5 different times is pretty easy. I'd expect this to get nerfed. I'm expecting Vex to get nerfed multiple times, by the way. This card seems really, really strong. She's probably going to get nerfed stat-wise, and also the gloom count is going to go from 5 to 6, at the very least. I already see it in the future. Gloom Sprites, 1 mana 2/2, grant me impact on strike. It's whatever, that's just an aggressive Bandle unit. I feel like that's going to be better in a Bandle Burn style deck than anything Vex related, but we'll see. That shit just wants to be boosted. But it's a aggressive 1 mana 2/2. That's an aggro card. Grotesque Gift, 2 mana 1/1 with Spirit, so it's a 2/2. The first time an enemy is summoned, grant it gloom. Okay. A 2 mana 2/2 that is also a gloomer. That's good. That's pretty fine. I think I'll run that. It's debuff gameplay like Morgana, yes. But instead of like stunning, it's just subtracting stats. It's kind of like Nocturne, but spread amongst a bunch of different cards. Or like Frenzied Skitter, you know? It's all about attack reduction. We're also getting HP reduction for some reason, because it's just part of the gloom keyword. Or mechanic. Really strong. Yeah, if you stack Grotesque Gift, the opponent is kind of fudged. So like, let's say you play a Grotesque Gift on turn 3, and then you play double Gift on 4. If the opponent hasn't played a unit yet, then when something comes down, it's going to be -3/-3 and die, if it's 3 HP or less. Of course, they can play around that by playing a weak card first, and it dies, but, you know, it's just like a little deterrent for playing the game, kind of like Roiling Sands is, where it makes the opponent want to play a certain card first, or not play certain cards in general. Grotesque Gift is kind of doing a similar thing, while also giving you Vex level up points. Right? I'll leave you a secret. A Mumu is on Vex level up in the last seconds. Oh! So a Mumu later on this year. I believe it. So I had to go AFK move stuff. Yeah, guessing Lux and company are way weaker. Way weaker. Yeah, this is, like, if you want to compare them side by side, it's night and day. And if you want to face them against each other, it's an 8-2 matchup in Vex's favor. There's almost no world where Lux should win. Family Reunion is a story landmark that says, grant a unit gloom, and then after that, grant an ally impact, and then boost 2 units. Wow, that's really good. Okay, Beefcake Mare, 4/3/4, impact, round start boost. Holy fuck. If you want to play this on defense 4, that's a 4/3/4, impact 1, round start, impact 2. As a 3/4 body? He's aight. Pretty good for like a Bandle Burn strategy. Good 4-drop. Yeah, he's a nice beefcake. Mare hit the gym, which is kind of crazy. Jaro him? Oh yeah, so we can see. Yeah, exactly. If you Jaro him, then he's going to be another +1/+1. That's a lot better, and he'll get boosted, so he'll have +2/+2 and 2 impact. Yeah, so much better for like Bandle Demacia, and he's a Yordle tag, which means he gets buffed by Yordle buffers, guys. Remember when we went through rotation earlier this week, and I was like, they're bringing back all the broken Bandle shit, and they're pushing Yordles? It just looks like Bandle Release Part 2. That's still true, especially with Mare here. Alright, next is Grim, a 6 mana 5/3 fearsome. Play, grant a unit 4 gloom. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's like a Mahira, but for 6. If something has 4 HP, it just fucking dies, and it's a fearsome. Oh my god. Grim's crazy. I doubt Grim will work with Vex too. Give 5? Or 8. Grant a unit 4 gloom. Gains it again. I would assume 8. Okay, Shadow. 5 mana, 2/5 fearsome. When I'm summoned, draw Vex, so we have Vex Tutor that also curves and is also fearsome. I have +1/+0 for each different time you've granted Gloom this game. Oh, so that's not the stacking Gloom. It's different times you apply it. See, now that one's wording is important, but it's probably going to be like a 4/5 on average. That's like expected. A lot of the time it's going to be higher. Probably get like a 6/5. Good heavens, this is broken. Why is it also Tutor Vex? What's Vex's champ spell? Is it also Glare? Holy fuck! Please do not tell me Vex's champ spell is Glare. Because if we can hard run 3 Glare, and we play Vex into Shadow, and then we have 2 mana Glare on turn 6, along with 4 mana to do something else. Please don't tell me. It is? Oh no. Oh heavens. Oh my god. They gave Vex everything. Oh my god. She's so broken, man. I'm so excited to be a Vex main. She's one of my top waifus. She's my top playstyle, my favorite region. Looks like mid-range is back on the menu, boys. I've been an aggro gamer for too long because mid-range was dead. It's so back. We are so back to like mono SI glory days of 2020. When I used to play matches that went past turn 5. Lillia! Another early game champion, which again, we love this. 3 mana, 2/1, which is not true because she has Spirit, so she's actually a 3 mana, 3/2, which is interesting because that's reversed Lux stats, isn't it? Isn't Lux a 2/3? So Lillia is a 3/2. With Quick Attack. When I'm summoned or strike, create a Dream-Laden Bow in hand, or if you have one, reduce its cost by 1. So, kind of sounds like the Samira Flare thing. Kind of cool. She's new Ahri. Yeah, that makes sense. Rotate Ahri and then put in Lillia so we can play Lillia, Kennen, Ionia. Okay, yeah, and she also replaces Zed, being the same stat line and keyword. Makes sense. Dream-Laden Bow. Sleep an ally. Obliterate a unit, recall its attachments, to store an exact copy in a landmark for 1 round. So, Entomb. This is Entomb, but you don't lose your attachments. Even if you do it to enemies, they get to recall their attachments. So, okay. Just better Entomb type mechanic. And this is obviously really strong for on-summon effects. That's the whole point. That is the whole point of this. It's kind of like hand bouncing, but not really, because you're not putting in your hand, you're putting in a landmark. Here's a risk. It's a landmark. And if the opponent runs an Explorer, they can kill your landmark. Alright. So, she is a very, very simple win con. Not win con, sorry, level up con. I guess it's probably your win con too, though. You've summoned 15 allies or landmarks. What? You've summoned 15 allies or landmarks. That's just so simple, isn't it? Just play the game. If you play the game and you play your cards, you're going to level up Lillia. She can level up in deck, and you can play her already leveled. And she'll come down as a 4/3 if you do that. When I'm summoned or strike, create a Dream-Laden Bow in hand. If you have one, reduce its cost. When you sleep another ally, immediately wake it up and grant it Spirit. So then you get to bypass the 1 turn wait time, where the opponent can interrupt your strategy, kill your landmark, kill you. You just get to wake it up right away and get the on-summon effects immediately. So you want to turbo level Lillia. That's the point here. By any means necessary. You want to level her up by like turn 6, 5 or 6, and get your shit done so you can win the game with some kind of like crazy wombo combo type shenanigans. Her champion spell is sleep a unit for 3. That's really good. Oh my god, that's really good. Entomb for 3? Usually people had to like 3 sisters into that because they didn't want a hard run Entomb. Just being able to like kill an opponent's, well, you put it away for a turn, but like that's still insane, especially when you're on the defense. Because like if the opponent open attacks with something big, okay, 3 mana, put it to sleep. GG. That's really good. At fast speed, yeah. That's really, really, really good. That's a little too good for 3 mana. Because if you can cast this with just bank spell mana, that's not chill at all. You know, Ionia did lose Concussive Palm, so I guess it's okay. This is kind of like a Concussive Palm replacement, because you'd use this in the same instances. Having both would be too insane. But yeah, this is good. Yep, really good as a response to strike spells. Buff, like slow speed buffs, like stance swaps, which you don't have to worry about anymore, but things like that. And also Hate Spike and Death Grasp. Very astute observation, Arc Altair. You are 100% correct. Very good at interrupting Demacia and Shadow Wild strategies, which Ionia was already naturally very good against, so now it's just even better versus those regions. Next we have the Dewdrop Harvest, 2 mana, landmark, slow speed. Chapter 1, summon Spritelings. Chapter 2, sleep an ally. Cool. Fine. The gift that keeps on giving, these fucking story landmarks. Petal Pixie, when I summon Spritelings. Cool, that's really good for turbo leveling Lillia. We obviously want to play multiple bodies, so anything with a House Spider type effect, really good. Sprite Mother, 4 mana 2/1. When I'm summoned, grant Spritelings and Mothers everywhere Spirit. Ooh, pink Wraiths, you are right. This is basically Wraiths. And this is on summon, so if we sleep it, we get big Wraiths. Ophelis Gardener, 3 mana, 2/4. Fully heal an ally, then sleep it. Cool. Sure. Sprite Dance, 3 mana fast speed, recall an ally, grant all stacks of its spirits to another ally. That's like a syncopation, by the way. This is a combat trick. Do not be fooled. This Sprite Dance thing, that is an offensive utility-ass card. That is syncopation. It can also be used defensively to put stats on something that's being targeted by removal. But it's syncopation, isn't it? Isn't it, guys? If you think about it. But if you close your eyes, heal your Nexus 3, summon a Spritelings, okay? Grant allies everywhere +1/+1, essentially. Chapter 3, manifest a card that costs 8 or more, reduce its cost by half. Ugh. Just don't cheat this out. There's no way to mana cheat the Heart of the Tree, right? Because that's so reasonable if you develop this on 7, and then you get the manifested card like later. Yeah, okay, that's the quick rundown of everything. That's how I feel about all the cards. I think Lillia is fine, Lux is fine, and Vex is really strong.